Hello, everybody. Connecting to Facebook. And we're a go. We're a go. Oh my goodness. Super excited. Welcome to day 2 of the Art Boss Challenge. We are here today hanging out together. You know what? We're going to have fun today. We're going to talk a little art. We're going to talk some business, and we're going to get results. I'm so excited to be here because, and I want you guys to be like, give some fire. Just go ahead and put fire inside of the feed, okay, or inside of your comments, because this is what I know. I know that when we have fun and when we're having fun learning, that's when things change. That is when we have the ability to start selling more of our artwork. Okay, so we're doing the work. If you're here, you're doing the work. Sometimes we're just working on the wrong things and the wrong order, and that's what's causing things not to go as perfectly or as smoothly as we had hoped. So let's go ahead and give ourselves some fire. Go ahead and do a little bit of kudos here. I'm popping back and forth, making sure that everything is working with the tech. And while you're signing in, guys, say hello in the feed. Give us the thumbs up, the like, great. Say hello in the comments because we're ready to do this. We are so ready to do this. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and get started. All right. I'm going to pop right over here, making sure I don't have any notifications or anything that's going on here. And getting a note saying you're not seeing this in the stream yet. Okay. So that's kind of what happened yesterday. Had a little bit of problem finding the video in the feed. And so I'm making sure that everything is hooked up properly. Oh, no, it's not. Here we go. This is what we have to do next. Okay, cool. Found the issue. Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Welcome to day 2 of the Art Boss Challenge. Okay, super excited to be here. Okay, been like working this morning in tech and making sure everything was set up, and had a little tech snafu, right? It just kind of happens sometimes. Little things happen in tech. So it was a couple minutes late getting in here today. Trust me, I was in working, making sure that all of my tools were talking to one another, that StreamYard was talking to Facebook, and just wasn't working. They weren't talking to one another, but that's okay. We're here now. And I want to say, you guys, you rocked it out. You're amazing. Your artwork's amazing. You did such an amazing job yesterday. I want you guys to give one another some fire. Okay. I want you to take a moment, and I want you to just go ahead and put fire in the comments. And you're doing that for yourself. I want you guys to give one another kudos, right? Like just say, oh my gosh, I'm doing the work. Now I'm on course. I've got clarity on what I need to do next. Okay. Because when we're doing all this work, we want to make sure that it's getting the results we need. And I want to thank Dave as well as Katie for saying, hey, we're not seeing you in feed, because I'm going to say this as well. It takes a village. Okay. It takes a community of people to support one another in order to be successfully selling your artwork. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. My name is Rena Uha. I know I introduced myself yesterday, but we're going to jump on in today to training. I'm an artist and I'm an art business consultant, and I absolutely love what I do. I count my blessings that I get to work with so many insanely talented artists on a daily basis. Okay, so as you guys are signing in, make sure you're tapping that like love height, like the love like bar. Just kind of click one of those off. Also, I'm going to ask you a question as we start. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to talk a little bit about artwork. I'm going to ask you this: do you paint every day? Like, just put in the comments. Do you paint every day? I'm seeing if I can't get into my my Facebook and read the comments here. So, do you paint every day? Okay, or are you an artist who's like, I need like a good 8 to 10 hours, which means I need to like kind of just carve out some time during the week. Maybe you just paint on the weekends. Maybe you paint in the evening. Maybe you paint after like the day kind of settles in your studio painting in the evening. Okay. So I just want to know, like, as we're kind of signing in, we're getting ready, waiting for everybody to kind of show up, and before we jump into the training, do you paint every day? I see yes, made it. I try to, right? That's a good thing. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. Okay. So post in the comments. Do you paint every day, or do you try to set aside a day and paint every day? I paint every day. Like, I love painting. And this week, I'm not going to be able to spend a good solid chunk of time. So I am pushing my paint time off to Sunday, and it's going to be all day. Like, I'm just carving out Sunday, and that's going to be my paint day. When the kids were little, they're all now grown up and moved out. But when they were little and I was in my art studio, like, I'd hear them coming down the steps, because I had one of my studios was in my home. I had another studio outside of the home, but on the weekends I painted in the home. I'd hear them come down. And they go, "Don't bother Mom. Go ask Dad. Go ask Dad if we can have a snack." Right? Like, they respected that time. Okay. So we need to make sure we're carving out time to do the things that we're supposed to be doing, which is in our studio. And so, heck, while we're at it, why don't you just go ahead and post some of your artwork? You guys can see today I'm in my studio. Yesterday I was in an office space. There were just some things going on. There was some work going on down here. It was going to be too loud. So I was like, I had to find another space to work in. But today I'm back in my studio. And so I want you guys to start sharing your artwork. Like, go ahead and post it in the stream. We would love to see it. Okay. So I don't know if I told you, I can't remember if I told the VIPs or if I was talking about this during the challenge, but I am new to plein air painting. Okay. anyone do plein air painting? I was never the fan of the thought of being outside with my paints, lugging them across a field, a cornfield, or wherever, and having to paint outside with the bugs and potential rain and the sunshine. Like, I was like, no, thank you. So this course came up, and it was plein air painting indoors. I was like, okay, that sounds more my speed. And I wanted to evolve my style, and I'm like, I love acrylics. Like, I love them. I will never walk away from them. But I started looking at how can I learn some new skills and potentially incorporate them into my style. I wanted to make sure I was taking a class from an art teacher who was an expert at plein air painting. I found someone who was selling her artwork, successfully selling her artwork in galleries at the 20K level. And she was offering to show us how to get up to speed quickly. I was like, oh my gosh, this is for me. And I'm going to just show you a couple of pieces, right? So, like, this was a coastal Maine piece that I did. Remember, in plein air, you're outside. So you're really doing more kind of like sketch work. So you can bring it back into your studio and like blow it up and do bigger pieces. We did a lot of the no tan series, and then I would find some no tans. I was like, well, I'd pop a little bit of color in there. I'm like, what a nice abstract landscape. And when I was taking that class when I was in DC, so I got to hang out in George Washington's houses, like not the big one, right? Not Mount Vernon, but like one of his other little summer houses, right? We would set up and paint in his backyard. There it is. There's a painting of his house. This is the backyard in the Potomac. And for those of you who've been around for a while, you know that I paint a lot of pineapples. I have a social business where I give back to the world and the community. It's through the Welcome Pineapple Project. But I want to just kind of like share some images with you, because I would love to see your artwork. Go ahead. You should be able to add a file to the stream. I'm going to do this. It's going to be, oh, perfect. Let me do this real quick. Okay, perfect. I'm looking to see if I have any images yet. Nope. Thank you for the fire. Okay. Feel free. If you're like, don't struggle. Don't run down to your studio, take pictures, post them in the group. Okay. Make sure that you're still posting your artwork in the group. Okay. Because this is the thing. We are creative business owners, and we need to make sure that we're not only carving out time to run our businesses, but we need to make sure we're also carving out time to be artists. Okay. So as we kind of start talking more about some of the business stuff, I want to say yesterday was on fire. You guys were on fire. You were amazing. Okay. I want to ask you, share with me in the comments, what was something that brought huge clarity? What was like maybe an aha moment, a golden nugget, whatever you want to call it, a light bulb moment where you were like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way. Or, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that I was missing so many steps. Or, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that I could have a show-free growth strategy, that although shows are great and galleries are great, I probably need to move online sooner than later. If I wait too long, I could be like the horror stories that I'm hearing of other artists who are doing really great in their shows and in their galleries, and then something shifting and they're barely eking out like enough money to pay for supplies, or they're not even covering the cost of their shows. Okay. Or maybe you're an artist, you're like, I love shows. I'm not giving them up. I'm going to tell you, I love shows too. I love the fact that we can then like take the pulse of our people. We're able to read body language. We're able to talk to people and get immediate feedback. So I love shows. But maybe what you're thinking is, maybe I need to curate a better set of shows. Maybe instead of going to all these ones that I'm dragging my artwork through a cornfield, I need to be at the ones that I'm closing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 at, and I need to find more of those. Okay. Also, you might be like, I love shows, and it's good to know that even if I have like, there's just what we call a shitty show, I have a bad show, maybe a tornado comes through, maybe the marketing of that show wasn't as strong as it was in the years past. Maybe you get put next to the band, maybe you get put next to a popcorn station and everybody, or you look around and you're like, this is really just a family fun and friend weekend. This is not an art buyer weekend. You can still use the tools and the systems we have here, and you can still close sales. Just like Kate, who was like, my gosh, I made 20K last year. I closed 2 print sales this year, but her email campaign, she sent it out the week after she got home, and she closed 40K in sales the week after she got home. Okay. Maybe your aha moment was, I need more galleries. And now I'm seeing the way that I get more galleries is show them that I know how to sell my artwork. Because let's face it, my friends, galleries are business owners. They don't want to handhold someone who goes, I don't know how to sell my artwork. I don't know how to frame it. I don't know what size to paint. What do you think? They want to work with artists who are saying, I'm closing sales on my own. This is a solid price for this piece of artwork. You're getting 50% of that. And if you would like to represent me, you're more than welcome to. That is when you're going to pick up the phone with a gallery saying, hey, we would love to have you in one of our shows. Hey, we would love to have you in our gallery. Okay. So what are your aha moments? Like, what are the things? I'm looking here to see what you guys are saying. My feed isn't really keeping up to date, but that's okay. Keep posting it in the feed, because I want to see what were your aha moments. Not only is that helpful for other people, but it's also helpful for me. It allows for me to see exactly what you're working on, and it allows for me to understand if I'm hitting what you need during the training. Okay, so here's the thing. You can't put a price on clarity. It's priceless. Okay, understanding what you need to do in order to sell more, just you cannot put a price on that. It's priceless. That's why. Okay. We know this. Moving online is a must as we move forward, as the market changes. You have to figure this out. Waiting till later when everybody else figures it out, you know what happens? It just becomes a higher cost to doing business and more barriers to entry. Okay. There are no barriers to entry right now in the online market. Okay. So that is what we need to be doing. Okay. Love it. Love it. So I'm just going to see real quickly. Yeah, Katie, I'm not seeing comments, just so you know. I'm not seeing comments in not real time. So let's just continue on here. Like little tech issues today. So yesterday, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday, I showed you the whole entire sales system. Now, let me stop for a second. I know as artists, we're like, I don't like the word system. System. It makes me feel like I'm contained in a box, and I don't like it. Okay. We're creatives, and a lot of our creative types resist the word system. The reality is our system is what keeps us safe. Our system is what keeps our business safe. Our system is what allows for us to go on vacation for a month or even longer, take a whole sabbatical, but your business is running back home, finding leads, making offers, and closing sales. And so when you get back from vacation, you come home to a lead list of people who are like, tell me more. And what are you supposed to do then? tell them more, right? We're going to tell them more. So there's 3 steps, okay? 3 steps that we need in order to have a sales system. And I'm going to put it out there right now. I'm going to put a challenge out to you guys. The first person who can tell me the 3 words in the right order, the 3 steps in the right order, will get the VIP package for free. And if you're in the VIP package, I'll refund it. Okay. So this is just about what is it? What are the 3 steps you need? It's the Art Boss formula in order to close more sales. First person, correct order. Katie Ford is watching because I cannot see your comments. Take that, but I can't see your comments. It's just the way it's going to be today, but I can't see your comments. So what are they? What are they? And Katie, if you could just send me a quick text so I can give a big shout out to that person, I'll watch for it. And thank you so much for helping me around some of my little text snafus right now. Okay. What are they? What are they? And I'm going to wait for Katie. Okay. I'm going to wait for Katie before we go through them. Okay. Because I want to know who knew the 3 steps. Okay. If there's no one in there yet, grab your workbook. Your workbook. Okay. All right. Yesterday I showed you the big picture. Okay. That's what we did. We're gallery proofing your sales. We're modernizing your sales process. Lots of people. Who was first? Katie's saying there are lots of people who do it. I'm so excited. Who was first? Who was first? I would love to know who was first, Katie. All right. We're modernizing our sales process. So we don't use the word system. We're getting out of our own way. We spent so much time on talking about how our artwork is amazing and how what we do is important and how our artwork transforms the world. Okay. Because a lot of the Pamela Roman, awesome. Hey girl, I'll give you, Katie Ford is going to send you in Messenger the link to the VIP dashboard because our meeting is right after this call at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So this is going to run right about an hour this time. And then we meet again at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So Pamela, we'll see you at the VIP. Awesome. Good job, girl. Okay. So the overview, right? 3 steps, you saw them. Okay. And if you didn't type them in, you missed out on a really great opportunity. Okay. We have to collect leads. We have to connect with those leads and we have to close those leads. Okay. So the big picture strategy, when we do that, when we get out of our own way, when we start when we start actually believing that our artwork is important enough to get out into the world and start getting in front of our clients, right? Then we're unstoppable. We are totally unstoppable. Okay. So a lot of the questions that you guys asked yesterday, when you asked me questions like, I don't know what size to paint or what genre, should I do oils or pastels? I can do a variety or should I do a niche? Here's the answer. Do what you love. If you love doing a variety, do a variety. If you love just doing one thing, I just love painting hamsters. I'm just being silly, but I just love one thing. Do what you love, because if you don't do what you love, you won't believe that what you do is important. And if you don't believe what you do is important, then no one else will. No one else will. Yeah, no one's going to step up and say, oh, your work is good enough now. Oh, it's time to start selling. Oh, it's time to start taking this serious. Okay. I gave you a little metaphor yesterday about what selling is like. If you're posting without sales, if you have a website and no sales, if you're going to shows and no sales, galleries and no sales, okay, it's like an artist, a brand new artist who goes out and buys all the supplies, brushes, canvas, paints. Maybe they're a potter and they go buy clay and they go buy a kiln. Oh my gosh. And they go buy a potter's wheel. And then they wonder why they don't have a masterpiece. And when you dig in, you're like, well, tell me what you're doing. And you find out they haven't even opened the supplies yet. Okay. So it might be you're just skipping a step or two. That would be how you would coach another artist. You'd be like, well, okay, well, first you got to open up the paints and then you got to put them on the canvas and then, right? You would share your formula for creating artwork. You've been doing this for so long, it comes so natural. Okay. Okay. So we could stop there yesterday. I gave you everything that you needed, the 3 steps. You need to collect leads, connect with the leads, close the leads. I gave you a ton of detail. Everything builds that I'm giving you. So if you missed yesterday, go ahead and grab it again. It's right in the feed. Go ahead and watch it. You know what? It's worth a rewatch if you still have some questions. Okay. So don't let, like, all this training comes down on Friday. So don't let this opportunity for this free training to go away. Okay. We could have stopped right there, but I know that you need more. And boy, do we have more. Okay. So today, you know how it feels when someone asks, hey, this is what we're talking about today. I had to catch where I am on my notes and get excited. We're going to talk about stuff like this. Do you know? I know you know what this feels like. When someone asks you how much the painting is and you have to give a price, and I call this the art flinch, right? Instead of dreading the art flinch when someone says how much, you go, because you're waiting for them to say it's too expensive. It's no, I can't believe you charge that much, right? We're going to show you how to never have the art flinch again, ever. Okay. That awkward moment when you wonder how someone's going to react to you when you give your price. So imagine this. Okay. Your art feels like it sells itself. Okay. It's not selling itself because you have a system. You have mile markers and you're watching your future clients and you've seen when they're getting ready to purchase. Okay. But it feels so smooth and easy. Okay. Because you're in the right spaces, you're talking to the right people, and you're communicating the value of your artwork, and they get you, right? It's about value. And because you've already walked them down the path to the sale, showing them the stories, showing them the value, showing them training if they need training, and preparing them to say yes, when you give the price, they actually lean forward and they say, well, what payment types do you take? Okay. Yesterday, you told me a couple things in the comments. The comments are super amazing. I go through them, make sure I'm covering everything that you need. Do not be shy, right? Katie Ford and I think Shauna St. James might be here today as well. They're here helping you, directing you, providing information so that you're getting additional support from myself and from Team Art Boss. So yesterday, here's some of the things that you asked me for support on, okay? Finding customers that actually buy. That's what we're doing today, okay? Because let's be real, all those likes and loves and hearts, they don't pay the bills, okay? Selling without feeling like a salesy weirdo. That's kind of a term that Molly Mahoney coined when I was working with Molly. She's like, salesy weirdo. I love that. So I always give her credit for it, the salesy weirdo. No more sleaze, right? No more feeling awkward. How would that feel? Just natural conversations that make people feel love, make people feel excited to buy, and builds the trust you need in order to close the sales. Okay. You also told me that you're like, it's not only knowing what to say to close the sale and feeling sleazy. I don't know what to say when someone just says, I like my art. I like your artwork. Okay. I'm interested. Okay. So I call those the art ums. You're like, someone goes, I really love your art. Tell me about it. And you go, okay. Got to be prepared. Everything needs to be aligned. Okay. No more freezing, no more stuttering, no more fumbling, no more ghosting from warm leads. There should be no one who's a warm lead who isn't listening anymore. Okay. You're going to have the words to close with confidence. Okay. What about, a lot of people are asking about this. Help me translate my sales from galleries and shows into the online market. You know that things are shifting. You can see it. You can feel it. You hear it. You have the data. You have the proof. Okay. We're showing you how to make the shift to the online market if you want to. And for those of you who are doing really well in the online market and galleries, oh my Lord, keep them. Okay. Get rid of pick off the ones that aren't doing well anymore and add in your online market. I'm going to tell you those two, the synergy between those two is unreal. And you're going to not just increase sales at your gallery, but you're going to continue to be able to close sales when you're it's not showtime anymore because it's snowing, right? Like there's seasons for a lot of us where we can't do shows because we can't drive, we can't get through the snow. You can still close sales right here in the online market. Okay. So if you've been here for a while, like you've been doing this for decades, you're just leveling up. And what you were telling me is you're like, I want to find more galleries. I want to close more at shows, and I want to get into better shows. I want to get into Kansas City. Like those are my two favorite, Laguna and Kansas City. They're just the ones that I've are on my bucket list. Okay. You can do it because you're building systems. And what ends up happening is when you can prove that your artwork closes in the high ticket price range, other galleries will come knocking on your door, and it's so much easier to get into the big shows where you have a huge panel of people making a decision of who's going to be there. Okay. So let me know if I missed anything. You're more than welcome. Put it in the comments. If I missed anything, just let me know. Okay. Because yesterday's questions were incredible. You asked about how do I sell 200K using prints and originals and commissions. Love that question. Amazing question. Okay. We're actually going to be talking about that in the VIP call today. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be pulling out what I call the AMP. It's the art money plan that allows for you to literally play with your numbers and see how fast and what you need to be selling in order to get to 200K or more. Right? Like for artists who are like, I want to sell 1 million. I'll show you how to sell 1 million. Then we'll back into the numbers and we'll find how many leads we need to find, how many people need to be in your social media platforms, visiting your website, all those things. It's all math. It's all numbers. Okay. Here's the truth. These aren't just questions. They're the exact kind of strategies that a CEO would be asking. Okay. That's what we need to be doing. Okay. You're asking questions like, what closes the best? What platform should I use? When should I upgrade my website? How do I upgrade my website? All CEO level questions. And it's super important because you're thinking about growth. You're thinking about visibility. You're thinking about sustainable systems so that when you can be in your studio making art and your business is closing sales for you. And the best part, okay, is that you don't need tons of bells and whistles right away. We can start super simple, very manageable. You don't have to have all the high end, I call it the high end the super sexy high end artist website. Okay. The one that everybody's like, ah. The problem with those is if you build those first and you don't understand the rest of the process, they're just an expensive business card. Okay. So the mark of a profitable business owner is you start simple, you stay consistent, and then you scale and grow. Okay, super important. That VIP offer, I'm going to be giving you the link. Maybe, hey, Katie, would you be able to pop that into the comments for me? She's going to be giving you the VIP offer. I was going to close that last night, but a couple people this morning were like, I just had a crazy day yesterday. And by the time I got to watch your replay, I really would like to be in the VIP offer. So I left it open this morning anyway. I'm going to close it at the end of this call. Okay, so as soon as this call's over, I'm going to close that link down. But it's just kind of a last minute. We have some room, so go ahead and grab that, okay? My name is Rena Uha. I know I've introduced myself, but I want you to know that I'm an artist and I'm a business owner. I sell artwork, I sell consulting. Heck, I also have a VRBO business, rental in Belize, run all using the same sales system that allows for us to do this, okay? I know what your biggest worries are because I share them with you. I know. Okay. Even if you've been doing this for a long time, maybe some of those worries, you've managed them and they don't surface and they don't like hit you in the head as often. But I don't want you to stop. Like when your business grows, a lot of these worries come back when it's time to raise your price. My friends, okay, some of you are like, I just need to get my price from 200 to 1,000. A lot of us are there going, well, I'm already at 1,000. What should I do? You should be at 5K, 10K. Those are if you're afraid to make those adjustments and you've been around for a while and you've been in the artist world for decades, you're going to come across these same worries. Okay. Every time we level up, we come across the same worries. And here's the first one I know that we struggle with. Okay. Moving back. I don't want to be too pushy or salesy. It's the very first worry that we have to deal with here. Okay. And that's normal. That's normal. And when you feel that way, it's not a bad thing. It's about managing it. It's about making sure that your business systems are going to be able to help you with that. Okay. Let's reframe it. If people are asking you about your artwork, is it pushy to tell them more about your artwork? Or is it rude not to? When you think about that one for a second, do you agree? Is it rude to ignore them because you're like, I don't want to seem too pushy? On Thursday, there's a bonus session where I talk about the 3 big mistakes we make kind of early in our social media. Right here, big one. We ignore people. We don't know it. We scare them away and we don't know it. Okay. Here's another worry, or maybe I'm going to call it, it's not really a worry. It's kind of a mindset, a protective mindset that doesn't serve us. Okay. My art should just speak for itself. If people don't get me, then they can just move on. Okay. This is a romantic artist trap when we start thinking this way. And this is something that happens, especially if you've been selling your artwork for a while. So I'm calling this out for some of my more veteran art sellers. Okay. This is what I call, even though you're not, the starving artist energy. Okay. Which is a belief that as an artist, you have no responsibility to share anything about your artwork, none of the stories or inspirations that surround it. That if a sale doesn't magically happen, then someone doesn't get you and they don't deserve your artwork. Okay. That's fine. If you want to sell that way, I mean, if it's working for you, do it. But if it's not working for you, I want you to call you on this one and say, people can't read our personal intentions. If they're engaging in our artwork and asking questions, even if they're not the proper questions, that is opening the door to sales. Okay. There's no one who can read our mind. There's no one who knows our personal history and our personal struggle. And we can't walk away from that. Okay. Let's face it. The starving artist energy does not pay the rent. Okay. That might have stung a little bit. And I know for some of my sweet friends here who are doing really well and recognize that they want to shift and they want to move into the online market or they want to sell more, I want you to take a deeper look at what you're doing. Okay. Here's another worry. Again, been there, done that, know it, live it. Every single time I raise my price, have to re-go through all of these things again. Okay. I don't know where to find buyers. Okay. This is what's happening. Typically, when I look at your business systems that you currently have set up, you have a build it and they will come mentality. It's like Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. Okay. Not if you don't invite them. Not if they don't know about you. And so we're out there spending all this time building all these sexy tools and all these bells and whistles and chasing squirrels and opportunities. And when they don't work, then we toss it aside and pick the next one. I need a high-end website. Oh, it's not working. I'm going to learn SEO optimization. Oh, that's not working. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get another tool. I'm going to try another platform. And as creatives, it's usually my number one job with my high-end creatives is to keep them focused on the simple and what's working right now, even if it's boring. Okay. Have fun with your artwork in your business. Boring is not a bad thing. If it's bringing in sales, that's what's fun. Okay. So this is what I want you to have. Okay. Finding collectors doesn't mean chasing people. It means becoming more visible to the right people. Okay. And so that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to address every single one of those worries. And we're going to use the Art Boss formula to show you how you sell more artwork. Okay. So are you ready for today's training? Say yes. Say yes. Say it. Someone say yes in the comments. Okay. Anyone say yes in the comments. I can't read the comments, so I have no idea. Let me see if I can get them over here. I'm just curious while we're doing this. Okay. This will probably. Okay, let me turn that off. Let me see if I can read comments over here. No, I still can't. Hold on. Yes, I finally did. Okay, woohoo. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Leslie. Okay. All right. So I just had to go to another place to read comments. No big deals. All right. I'm going to jump into the presentation. It's going to take me just a minute to go through housekeeping. We did most of it yesterday, but I just want a few reminders. Okay. The biggest reminder is that everything builds on one another. Okay. Fitting and packing all this stuff into 1 hour just isn't humanly possible. And I want you to be able to absorb it. I want you to be able to hear it again so that you can understand and get more clarity. Okay. So it all builds on one another. If you missed yesterday, catch it. If something today like you're like, I'm not really sure what that means, go rewatch yesterday. I guarantee you the answer is over there. I don't have time to redo all of that. We're doing a deep dive into the first 2 steps of the Art Boss formula. We're going to really do a deep dive in collecting leads and connecting with leads. Okay, so let me go ahead and pop this up. There we go. Perfect. Just real quick, housekeeping. Okay, replays are available in the Art Boss Challenge Facebook group until Friday when they all come down. Except for my VIP group, you have a dashboard with the training that will be there for another month. Okay, so you have an additional time to like watch and rewatch. The laser focus coaching, okay, is happening on Friday. I'm going to be giving you the link to that meeting on Friday. Okay, but I want you to mark your calendar. This is the first time, if you're not a VIP, that you have access to me and my team to ask questions. Okay, we're going to be talking through, like you'll been with me for the whole week, and it'll be the opportunity for you to talk with me, and we can start looking at your business. The workbook is available for download. Okay, I've got to say it again. We are on day 2. This is what it looks like. Okay. Did you know that you might be scaring your future customers away? Okay, that's the page that we start on. And if you pop it over to the next page, this is the gold. This is gold. Okay, this is gold right here. If I ask you tomorrow what was like the golden moment, like that, like I expect for most of you to be like golden moment. Okay, so perfect. All right, here it is. Actually, I'm giving you the Zoom room right now. For those of you who want the laser focus coaching call, that's Friday at 1 p.m. This is it. Okay, we're not going to be in a Facebook group anymore. The challenge will at that point be officially over, but I want to make sure that you have everything you need to move forward. Okay, so Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, here's the Zoom link, screenshot it. Like if you're like, oh, I'm never going to remember that, write it down in your notebook. Okay, there's the meeting. Okay, super great stuff. All right, that's it. Housekeeping. Promise it was going to be short, super short. Oh, P.S. by the way, there's a bonus today too that I'm going to be giving you guys. So don't leave before the bonus. Okay, so there's every day, hint, hint, I'm going to be giving you guys a gift and a bonus. Okay, so here we go. Just a quick summary. Thanks to Pamela, who knew the components of the Art Boss formula. Here's what it is. Okay, it is a system. This is set up circular with arrows because it implies movement in motion. It implies that when you set up a system, it can be working by itself over here while you're in your studio over here. Okay, that's the purpose for this visual. And when we take the Art Boss formula, where we collect the names and contact information of the people who are already looking at our artwork anyway, it's a huge game changer. One of the first biggest game changers that we can do. Then there's all these people saying, tell me more, show me more, I want more. And that's how we connect with them. We start showing them more. We start telling them more. Okay, that's the process of connecting with them, talking to them. So be careful here. We can talk to them in a way that scares them right out the door. So we need to make sure we're talking to them in the correct way. And then we basically take those beautiful future buyers, give them everything they need to say yes, so that when we make our offers, they're pulling out their credit cards. That's closing the deal. That's closing the sales. And then we take the Art Boss formula, okay? We lay it out in a linear path, which allows for us to then start diagnosing our business and seeing where is our business maybe broken, where are leads falling through the cracks, where am I not putting enough gas in my system? And we lay it out in this beautiful system so we can start going, oh, I really need to refocus. Like I'm not selling anymore and I can't figure out why. And you look and you're like, I haven't found new leads in 8 months. Oh, well, we found your problem. We just need to kick up that part of the business system. Okay. So we lay it out on this beautiful path, right? Collect, connect, and close. And today I want to go into a deep dive on these two right here, collect and connect. Those are the two that we're going to be talking about today. Okay. All right. Number 1, you guys know this already. Collect. Make sure I'm on the right page here. What slide is this? 7. I'm back here, I think. Hold on. I just get so excited about all of this, and this is so fun. There it is. Collect. Kind of already told you what it is, but we have to. This is the difference, okay? Awareness is just putting our stuff out there and promoting, but we have no idea who is visually dining our artwork. This is the first time that we're actually, when someone stops the scroll, looks at our artwork, when someone visits our website, when someone comes to a show or a gallery, we have the ability to start collecting the names and the contact information of the people who are already visually dining on our artwork for free, right? Again, whether that's in your social media, your website, whether that's in galleries or shows, okay? This is a thing. This is where most people skip. They show a piece of their artwork and then the price. Hey, here's my artwork. It's $5K. Do you want to buy it? Does that sound like a salesy weirdo or like a used car salesman? Yeah, it does. So we skip this step. If you're telling me, I feel like a sleazy, like I feel sleazy, or no one's responding, most likely this is the step that we're missing. Okay. So here's how we collect. Okay. We're going to jump into this. Okay. Pretty simple. Find the people who are already visually dining on your artwork for free. Okay. It's already happening. I bet if you added up your metrics, you have 10, 20,000 people if you're in social media. I mean, if you're not doing anything, but you're already having lots of people looking at it. Find those people who are already scrolling, stopping the scrolling and looking at your artwork, okay? And make them a no-brainer offer. That's as simple as it is. Make them an offer. And I know someone's like, what's a no-brainer offer? Well, guess what? We're going to dig into that, okay? And hint, hint, your first bonus is going to be about this, okay? So I'm going to actually deliver your bonus a little bit earlier today. You don't have to wait till the end today. Okay. What is a no-brainer offer? It's something that you can give them for cheap or free. I prefer free, but cheap or free if it makes you feel better to go out with something that has a low price tag to it, that has them raising their hand and eagerly saying, yeah, take my name and email address. I want that for free. This is an exchange. That's why we call it an offer. Free is like you don't have to do anything. This is an exchange. There's an exchange happening. You're giving something for free, and in return, you're getting information from them. Okay. This is the difference between promoting and starting to sell your artwork. Okay. Big game changer. Huge. Okay. I'm going to show you. I know everybody's like, oh, no-brainer offer. What is that? I'm going to give you 80 examples. You don't have to use all 80. Pick 2, 3. Oh my goodness. If you're ambitious, pick 4 that you want to use out of the 80. And if you're like, oh, I have a better idea that's not in this list, use it. Okay. So very specific to your businesses. I have a comprehensive list because depending upon your business, one's going to work better for you than it'll work for someone else. Okay. So I have my favorites. We're going to kind of talk through that in a minute. All right. Here's the risk. Awareness, the thumbs up, the hearts, the likes, that's not the finish line. That's engagement. We have to get people to the place where when they stop the scroll, okay, let me do this real quick. Make this a little bit bigger. When they stop the scroll and they're admiring your work, that means you've built attention, but attention isn't the same as action, okay? The likes and hearts just don't pay the bills, okay? Ouch. It's just true. You're at risk for stopping too soon if you don't do this step. You're taking your foot off the pedal, off the gas pedal, before you should, simply because you have people liking your artwork. You can't stop there. This is, take a note on this. This is the exact right time to invite them into your world with a free offer. And guess what your world is? It's also called a selling system. My friends, they won't know they're in your selling system. They're not going to be like, oh, they're inviting me into their selling system. They're like, oh my gosh, they're inviting me into their world where they're sharing more art with me. And I get access to artist talks. And these are some of the ideas. I get free digital downloads and I get. And people will rush to you And now you have the ability to take step 2. And until you do this, you won't be able to move to step 2. Okay, so here's the next risk. Oop, I did 2 more. Your lead magnet, especially if you go out with a cheap offer, like if you're like, I don't want to do free, I want to do cheap. Okay, so I'm going to put this out here, and this is a big risk. Your lead magnet is not your offer. It's only a part of your sales system. Yes, this is a no-brainer offer. It can be in your free zone or it can be in your low ticket. But here's what most artists miss. You're going to be tempted to do things like, well, I'm just going to offer a print. It just feels easier and better to sell a low ticket than a high ticket. And what you're going to end up doing is what we call cannibalizing your offer. That means your low price offer is the end of the process for your customer, and you lose out on the big sale. That's a cannibalizing. Every single lead magnet and every single low price offer out there has a high ticket sitting behind it. And if you can't see the high ticket yet, they just haven't made you the high ticket offer yet. There's no way to create a profitable business on free and cheap. This is what people are thinking. This is what people are thinking. It's got to be easier to sell a $100 offer than a $1,000 offer. I'm going to tell you that's not true. And for those of you who are already selling $1,000 offers and you're now challenging yourself and pushing yourself to get to 2K, 5K, you're thinking, oh, it's got to be easier to sell a $1,000 offer than a $5,000 offer. And I'm going to tell you, to meet your sales goals, it's just not true. Okay. And this is one of the times that is like, so many times I just have to allow for this to happen. You have to live it to learn it. You have to come to me in hopefully less than a couple months, but come to me in a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, and say, I just didn't get it until now. That it cost me just as much money to find a lead to buy a $100 offer as it does to find a lead to buy a $1,000 offer. And if you have leads buying a $1,000 offer, it's just as easy to find leads who will buy a $5,000 offer, because the answer to that question is in step 2. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're continuing on here. Okay, so here's the third risk. You're going to try to wing this. Okay, and that's exactly why often as business owners we struggle, because we're just winging it. We think we know what the answer is, but we really don't. Okay, here's where most people go wrong. They get the idea, but when it comes to actually executing, they don't know how to craft the right offer. They don't know how to position it properly. They don't know how to deliver it with confidence. And they don't know how to turn attention and awareness into income. They freeze, they're going to guess, and they're going to overthink it, right? And number one, creatives, we're going to ditch the idea to go find another one, spend a couple months building another idea, and then we're just in the endless cycle of trying to find an idea that hits. Okay. That's why we have the Art Buyer Kit. You have all the tools, all the strategies you need to stop the scroll and turn window shoppers into buyers. Okay, it's a toolkit for finding the right buyers who want your art and will pay your price. And here's the beauty. This is especially for those of you who say, well, how much time is this going to take? It's such a valid question. When I was saying CEO level questions yesterday, okay, how much time is this going to take? The beauty here is you build your Art Buyer Kit, and it's what allows for you to find leads while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation, while you're hanging out with the kids, while you're in your studio, because you set it up once and it's finding leads for you. You're getting the names and email addresses. You're not just building your follower base on Instagram. You're getting names and email addresses. So imagine this, okay? You get in front of 20,000 people, okay? And I know for a lot of you are like, 20,000, what the heck? I guarantee you start adding up all the people who see your artwork. If you're just at least posting in social media, you're at 20,000 people in a month. Okay. Get in front of the right ones. And if only 3% lean in, like 3% say, yeah, tell me more. Okay. Of 20,000 people, 3%, you're like, oh my God, 3%. You're already doing it anyway, my friends. You're already in front of them. If 3% lean in, you have 600 warm leads. People who have raised their hands and said, tell me more. I want more. I want to see more. I want to learn more. And here's the kicker. I keep saying it. You're probably already getting in front of that number of people anyway in your social media. The problem isn't the reach. The problem is you don't have those marketplace tools that capture the leads, okay? You can spend years trying to put all these tools together. 5 years ago, when I was first building the art empire, I was working in art licensing, I was working in galleries, I ran a gallery, all those things that I was doing. I was trying to find all these tools and I tested a lot of them. We've come up with one, like a set of all the tools, the platforms, all of it, everything that you need. I'm going to show you I'm going to tell you exactly what's inside of the Art Buyer Kit. And I'm going to pull one of those things out today for you and give it to you for free. It's your gift. But inside of the Buyer Kit, I've done all that testing for you. I've saved you thousands of dollars in testing tools. I've saved you months, years of testing them, trying to figure out how to use them. Okay. So what's in here? You go through it. If you don't catch this list, watch the replay. Okay. There's an audience generator, signature offer generator, a pricing calculator, a lead magnet funnel, an email campaign, metaverse ads, nurturing campaigns for social media and email, monetizing your free zone in the metaverse, and a simple website landing page. Okay. All the things that you need in order to be successful to find leads. Boom. It's in your kit. Okay. Yes. You can go out and like wing it, or you can just grab the kit. So I'll pull one thing out for you. Okay. Right now, I have a list of over 80 lead magnet ideas that you can use for your business so that when you stop the scroll and you make your no-brainer offer and say, hey, would you like a free XYZ? There's the list. Okay. I do have my favorites. I'm going to share with you my favorites. Let's pop over here for a second. I have my favorites. Okay. So pulled one out. Oh, let me show you how to get it. That way you can do it real quick. Here it is again. Let me make it big again. I want you to text the word hub because it's located in the Help Hub. The word hub to 513-654-1775. And when you text that word hub, we're going to send that directly to your phone. Okay. So just go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go back. We're going to go back in. I'm going to talk about it for a second because I know you're like, 80, which one should I use? What are your favorites? Okay. Here's how I pick my favorites. Depending upon my business, depending on what type of artwork I have, depending on what I'm going to the marketplace with, this is always the same strategy. I want something that doesn't cost me any money to produce. I want something that doesn't cost me any money to deliver. Like I don't want to ship artwork. It's got to be electronically delivered. Sweet. Okay. Something that I can lock down that allows for me to not have them printed out for free and be like, I got a free piece of artwork and it's hanging on their wall because they went to the store and printed it on their own. Okay, we got to lock that thing down. Okay. I want something that makes my business profitable. Okay. That leads to my signature offer, that leads to my high ticket offer, that leads to the offer that has my profit in it. And this is a big one. I want something to send them something that I know they need before they would ever purchase anyway. Okay. That's why 80 ideas. You want more help figuring out which one? We build them for you. There's one sitting inside of the lead kit. Okay. We already built, like, you don't even have to plug and play it. We plug and play it for you. Okay. So cool. Love this stuff. Love, 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 love this stuff. Okay, so here we go. Oh, let me do it this way so I'm not over the words. Step 2. Okay, before we get into step 2, I know you have questions. Remember, you have we're going to have a Q&A session. We only have we have a little bit more time that we're going to work together. We have a Q&A session. And for those of you who want that VIP, you're like, show me more. I need to see this VIP offer. Katie, if you could pop that in the comments again, the link to the VIP offer, that would be amazing, because this is what we do. Okay. We have to collect leads, and then we have to connect with those leads. And this is the step that lots of people skip. They're like, hi, my name's Susie. Here's my artwork. It's $2K. You don't want to buy it? Why don't you want to buy it? That we can't skip the connect stage. Okay. Most artists just go straight from, oh, you like my work? Here it is. Here's the price. And that is the best and easiest and fastest way to lose future clients. Okay. That's how we scare people away. That's one big way how we do that. Someone sees your artwork in social media. Okay. But when you're running a system, this is how it works. Okay. Someone sees something in social media, and instead of hitting them with the price, you invite them into your world with a lead magnet. What is your world? Your sales system. Okay. And then they get time. You get time to start nurturing them. Share your story, share the value, communicate the value of your offer, way before you ever offer the price. So what happens, this is what ends up happening, is people keep on saying, tell me more in all the engagement. Of course, we're going to tell them more, right? We share the story. We're going to share the meaning. We're going to share our own personal experiences. We're going to share testimonials of how it's changed other people's lives. We're going to validate, and we're going to back up the statements that we're making. And by the time it's time to talk about the price, they're already leaning in enough. You've built the trust, you built the relationship. So when you make your offer, they're like, so what payment plan? What payments do you take? Do you have a payment plan? You have a high ticket? Do you have a payment plan? Okay, because here's what we're at risk for. You may be scaring away your customers without even knowing it, simply because you're not talking about your artwork in the right way. Another really great way to scare off your customers is talk to your customer like they're another artist. Start dropping the words giclée, impasto, palette knife. Start talking about that stuff, and they're going to run the other way. They don't want to know about that. They don't need to know about that. That's an artist talk. Okay. That is the easiest way to lose a customer. Okay. Here's the truth. If you're not connecting with your customers in the right way, you're at risk for sounding salesy. You're at risk for scaring them. Okay. So this isn't a matter of giving free content and then going to the 5K offer. This is about spending the time with your future customers to make sure that's that middle step, make sure that they have everything they need to understand the value of your big offer. And here's the exciting part, that this one shift, when I'm working with artists who already have a converting offer, even if it's a low price converting offer, if they're like, yeah, I'm selling to friends and family, this one shift is what can immediately impact sales and get you from the place, just like Steffi, where you're selling for $200, raising your price to $1,800. And like I said yesterday, I talked to her this past week, and she's like, I'm just shy of 3K now. Okay. All right. What's inside of the brand messaging kit? I'm going to share with you everything that's inside of it. Okay. This is about creating that aligned messaging everywhere in your written comment, everywhere in your verbal comment or your content, let me do this. Everywhere. Okay. I want it when we work through the problem solution. And there we go. I already gave you the hint. It's got to be everywhere. It's got to be in your ads. It's got to be in your posting. It's got to be in your Facebook Lives. It's got to be in your sales scripts. It's got to be in your email campaigns. Everything has to be aligned. Okay. The number one thing. And your brand messaging kit is what allows for you to attract the right audiences and communicate the value of your art. Okay. So here's what's inside. Your signature style. Define your unique voice and presence so that you feel authentic, and everything's tied to actually what your artwork looks like. It's tied right back. Okay. This isn't something that we can just stamp and everybody uses the same thing. We literally have tools that you upload your artwork and it gets you on the road and get you started with what your content needs to be. We have a whole tool that we call it the value statement generator. It's clarity on your value. Pinpoint the real value of your artwork in a way that resonates with your buyers and then justifies your prices. We have tons of AI tools, been working really hard over this year. Like, don't stare at a blank screen trying to figure out what you're going to type in and say to your customers. AI is a beautiful tool, but if you don't use it the right way, it's what they call CICO, crap in, crap out. If you don't know how to generate the right prompts and you're not good at prompt engineering, this does it for you. Okay. So all your social media posts are written for you. Okay. You get a tool that's just like, blah, 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 blah. All your ad copy is generated. All of your sales scripts. Yesterday, I think it was VIP. Someone was like, I just need a sales script. And I'm like, yes, you do. We've got them. All your email campaigns, your Facebook lives. And then listen to this. Okay. So we also have client data trackers. Okay. So when we're working with a new future buyer, we have to track their engagement because we can literally see who is getting ready to purchase and then curate a beautiful offer for them. So we have a client data tracker. We have lead magnet funnels. We have social media sales campaigns. I'm going to stop there real quick because the social media and sales campaign is the bridge to the closing. Your brand messaging bridges to the closing. Step-by-step strategies that bridge your free content to your paid offers so that making sales just feels natural. So I'm pulling it out of the kit for you, and we're going to do it today. Does that sound good? You want me to give you one of the things out of this kit? Okay. Here's what it is. Let me do this. Oh, no, this one. Problem to solution. All of your messaging is hinged and built on your value, what we call it's a value proposition. It's a value statement. It's communicating the value of what you do versus communicating like I'm a abstract painter, does who uses bold colors, and I paint every day. Okay, well, that's great information for your artist statements, but for selling, we need to get to the core of our brand messaging, and this is it. Okay, every single person out there has problems. And when we can find the problems that we can solve with our artwork, that's where we build our message. That's where everything aligns. Okay, so we're going to just kind of walk through this. We spend usually the first couple weeks working on this. This right here, your value statement, your value proposition, you will work on this for the rest of your business life. The first iteration is amazing. You're getting to where you have none, and you get to a place where you have a value statement. And then the more you talk to your customers, the more you sell, the more that you get clarity on what problem you really solve so that you can find more of the right people. And then you start getting more clarity on people start telling you what they want from you so you can craft your solution and your artwork. And we call that an offer stack, all the things that you give in your offer. Okay, so let's kind of go through this. Problem and solution. I want to talk about the arrow. Okay. When I always talk about walk your client down the path to the sale, like it's the most natural thing in the world, this is your path to the sale, that arrow, path to the sale, measurable milestones that when people hit those places, you can see. All right. Problem. I'll give you an example because I know I'm going to have to do this anyway at the end. Okay. So I'm going to take the most generic problem to solution. It is the one that all artists have. Okay. So if that's your only problem to solution, you're just like everyone else. Even the people who sell posters at Walmart use the same problem to solution. Okay. But it's going to give you an example, and I think you're going to be able to wrap your minds around it a little bit. So I think it'll be helpful. Okay. So here's the problem that all of our clients, whether you do abstract paintings, whether you do pet portraits, whether you're a sculptor, whether you're a woodworker, whatever you are, okay, all our clients have the same problem to solution. Okay, so it's good to know. It's good to know it. The problem is they have boring spaces. I have boring walls. I have a boring room. I'm just boring. I go home and there's just this corner that bugs me and it needs something. Okay. All right. Sometimes we overthink this, and I get a lot of responses sometimes. They might even already be in the feed. I'm not reading the feed right now, but well, what do you mean problem to solution? Art doesn't solve cancer. Okay. No, but art heals. Art provides emotional connection. Art provides community. Art is important. Okay. So here back to why we spent so much time yesterday on why is your artwork important? Because if you don't believe that, getting to this step is impossible. Okay. So what is the problem that you solve? My clients have boring walls. Really simple one. Okay. Remember, even if people go buy artwork at Walmart, they're solving the same problem. So you need to get your own value statement that's more specific to your artwork. Okay. But again, we're an example. Solution. Your solution is always your artwork. Okay. So if when you walk them down the path to the sale, the solution isn't your artwork, you just led them into somewhat like you just sold something for someone else. Right. So I know it seems it makes sense, but I watch it all the time. It's like what the problem you're solving. And then at the end, it's like, oh, I'm going to, they have boring walls and I'm going to sell them a creativity package. I'm going to pull out my creativity coaching and I'm going to sell them that instead, how they need to be creative. And it just not aligned. Not that that's not a good product. The solution, it's still a great product, but the problem, it's the wrong problem, the solution. It doesn't actually, there's no path there. Okay. So be careful with that stuff. So the solution here is my artwork. I have artwork that fits perfectly in your space, customized for what you need. Customized artwork, commissions, originals. You know me. If you haven't figured it out by yet, I'm about a high ticket offer. This isn't about selling magnets. This isn't about selling like the low ticket. It's really difficult to create a profitable business. That will come later. That's a bell and whistle. The reprints, the magnets, the t-shirts, the merch, that will come later. I want to build your business on what artwork you're creating right now. Okay. So solution, it's your artwork. Then what we start doing, I don't know if you can see this little red line here, probably should make it a little bit bigger. Okay, little red line here. We start creating content that gives our clients everything that they need to say yes, so that when we make our offers, they're pulling out their credit cards. I'm going to give you some examples still, okay? Every little line that we're going to put here represents a piece of content or a milestone, like an aha moment that your client needs to have, like they need to realize something, okay? So every single line, it could be, that's my Facebook Live for next week. That's my email for tomorrow. That's my social media post. Here's my sales event that I'm inviting them to. Here's the page on my website that I'm inviting them to. Okay. So every single one of those lines is every single piece of your content. And more strategically speaking, it's the big pillars that your business is built on. So if my clients have boring walls and I have artwork, you look at me, I'm pretty vibrant in my colors, right? I have artwork that creates energy and turns your home into a sanctuary. Your house isn't boring anymore. I have a piece of artwork that when someone steps inside, the minute that you're there in the entryway and they see a huge, what is that? That's like a 5, I don't know. It's about a 4x6, I think, back there. I don't know. And they're like, you get the wows, you get the oohs and the ahs. Like if your client needs to know that your artwork gets people who visit their home to say, oh my God, that's amazing. And that's what gives them kudos and makes them feel good. You need to, it's part of your value proposition. My artwork is about infusing energy into a space. It turns a boring home into a sanctuary, right? Every single piece of content needs to align with that. Everything from your ads to your social media posts, to how you talk about it in your lives, in your videos, and I'm even saying your artist statements, when you're talking to someone in a show booth, everything needs to be aligned. Everything. There are going to be people who see you in ads and then come see you in person. It all needs to be aligned. Okay. This is amazing. Okay. And the brand message kit, it includes all the AI tools that create your content in minutes. Okay. No more. I can remember back in like 2020. Yeah, like back, it's not been that long. So like 5, 6 years ago, all of us salespeople were moaning about how I'm not a content creator. I'm not a writer. I want to be a painter. Okay. We have these beautiful tools that allow for us to do this super fast. Okay. You can build your own or you can use ours. Okay. So we're going to be getting ready for Q&A. So now's the time. I figured out how I can read my comments. Thank goodness, in time for Q&A. So I'm going to ask for you to put a Q in front of your question so it makes it easier for me to find it. I do have my glasses. I didn't want to lose them, so I'll be able to read that on the computer screen. And we're gonna move into Q&A. But while you're typing, right, I want to kind of finish up with some of the homework and all the housekeeping. You have another homework question that's going to be inside of the Facebook group. Okay, this is what challenges are about. Sometimes I say things that sting and feel a little, like, ouch. Okay. They're meant for support and to sometimes push you into a place where you start diagnosing what's going wrong. Okay. I want to know, how do you currently find your customers? Okay. And you want to add in there and get a little bit of extra time with me. So I only had a couple people who posted in yesterday's homework. So I was able to make some comments in there. But how do you currently find your customers? Just put it in there. If you're like, I'm not really sure, I'll wait till Friday when we do the laser focus coaching. Well, do that. That's cool. That's cool too. You have a lot of support here. This is day 2 of the Art Boss Challenge. Okay. Tomorrow is the final day of the Art Boss Challenge, but you know this already. I'm giving you some bonuses from Thursday and Friday that allow for us to take what we learned at the challenge and start applying it. Okay. So you have support in the Facebook group. You have support in the Help Hub. So if you want help in the Help Hub, just type in Hub again and you're going to get the lead magnet list. Well, great. Perfect. You have 80 ideas for lead magnets. Also, I'm going to leave open that VIP offer until the end of this call. As soon as I close it down, that's the first thing I'm going to do is just close down that link. It'll probably just turn into a 404 error because I don't have time to put it into a redirect, but that's okay. It's just chit-chatting. But if you want that, this is the last time. And I'm going to ask Katie, would you put that link in the comments again, the VIP link so that folks can get it. We're going to be meeting in about 45 minutes and unpacking what we learned today. Okay. So lots of opportunities. I did mention the laser focus coaching as well. So here it is. Your laser focus coaching call is on Friday, 1 p.m. in a private Zoom room. Earlier in the presentation, I gave you that Zoom link so you can go back and grab that. You can put that in a safe place. Mark your calendar, okay? If you have lunch plans, you might want to move them. Okay. There it is. I did it again. renauha.com/Zoom ABC. Okay? Screenshot it. If you're like, I can't write it down fast enough, screenshot it because I want to get to the Q&A. Let's talk about this for just a minute. Okay? Here are some of your win moments. Things that have happened today, okay? You know now, even if you're not doing it currently, you know that you can easily find leads to buy your artwork. Okay? You're already most likely doing the work. You're just missing one tool, one step. Second win moment. You're no longer going to scare away your future customers, and many of us do that not even knowing it. And here's the big win. You can have all these kits, all of this done for you in a matter of weeks. Or if you want to date Mr. Google for a couple years, that's fine. Even if you're not techie. So for my friends who have posted, I'm worried because I'm not techie, then just let us do it for you. Okay. So we still have one more kit to show you, and that's tomorrow. It's your sales kit. It's a big one. It's a big whopper of a kit. Okay. And tomorrow I'm going to give you a bundle price. If you want those kits, I'm going to show you how you can get them tomorrow. And so I want you to recognize, okay, you have to be here tomorrow. You have to, okay? If you want to see that buyer kit, which you thought this stuff was great, tomorrow it's the buyer kit, okay? Do not miss tomorrow. I'm going to be pulling back, pulling it all out, pulling back the curtains, so however you want to say it, okay? I'm giving you the exact roadmap that allows for you to build a selling system. We'll show you how to do it, or we'll do it for you. You have everything you need now to, again, date Mr. Google. Okay. One of the big watch outs. Okay. And what I worry about for you is that artists, I mean, there are people here that have been in my free community since like 2022, 2021. And when they come on board, they're like, if I would have just done this 2 years ago, I missed out on at least $20 to $25,000 in revenue every year. I missed out on $50,000 of income simply because I decided to spend time trying to figure it out. And I ended up spending a bunch of money testing tools when they were all just like right here. Okay. So for those of you who are just all ready to go in already, right? Put a note, like go into Facebook. If you're like, I'm in, I just want this, I'll get you into a clarity call. We'll look at your business model where it currently is, and we'll diagnose where you are, and we'll customize a plan for you. So if you're like, I can't wait till tomorrow, grab a call, just grab a call. Okay. I will give you the call link. All you need to do is ask for it. Okay. So perfect. All right. This is what we're doing tomorrow, right? I want to give you your roadmap. I want you to see, okay? We have the formula. We build a business plan. Now this is your roadmap. What do you need to do step by step to build a selling system that closes more artwork than you can ever have imagined? Okay, cool. So here's the Q&A. Hopefully there's some questions. If not, that's cool. That's cool. Let me pop back here and see. Okay, I see where Katie said, put a Q in front of your questions. Let's see if there's anything before that. Nope, looks like it. I'm gonna start right there where Katie asked you to put a Q in front of it. Okay, I'm not seeing anything, but my feed is not super great. I'm not getting all of the comments. Okay. So I'm going to put it this way then. If you have a question, put it inside of the group, because it won't be till I close this call down. I just had a bunch of tech challenges today with Facebook and StreamYard talking to one another. Not a big deal. It still worked out. But I'm not seeing any questions, which is amazing, because then we can go eat lunch. And then for those of you who are going to be at the VIP call with me, okay, that starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time. That's right about 40 minutes from now. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys soon. You have a great rest of your day. I cannot wait till tomorrow when we really dig into that sales kit, everything that you need. Okay, so I gave you everything that's in there. Told you exactly what's inside of there. Write them down. Write them down. You guys are the best. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.